and me, and these kids come up to us. Look like they're ready to try to jump us, I swear. And I actually am holding a baseball bat, kind of Negan style, but Kira doesn't see it, and she just hits this awesome pose like she's going to throw a spell because she's a witch. And they just run. And she just looks at me like, I took care of it, Daddy.
Awesome pose.
As I put down the baseball bat.
Wow.
And that was at our Halloween.
And no one came around and demanded half of the candy. Like, were you trick or treating in New Alexandria or something?
We're North Carolina, man.
Were you demanding half the candy?
Well, you know, we do what we got to do.
That was a terrible Negan.
That was a terrible Negan.
But you know what? It's not a terrible night because it's Friday.
Why is that?
That's right.
And it's figure action night, man. We're doing the Figure Action Podcast. It's always a great time, and we welcome everybody joining us live here on YouTube. And for anybody tuning in live, be sure to pop in the chat. Be sure to give us a like if you're enjoying our show. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell. Anybody who had us last week saw that we had a lot of TFCon coverage coming courtesy of Partsformer and Joe. Really awesome stuff, Joe, over there. And so be sure to check out that content if you had. And also, if you want additional coverage for TFCon on Tman's channel, he actually had a toy hunt that Partsformer and Joe recorded from TFCon. So be sure to check that out. And for anybody else who wants to catch up on our old episodes, you can do that on YouTube. But you can also check us out, Podbean, on the iTunes and Google Play Store. And you can also listen to us offline and take us on the go anywhere. Anyway, I am joined by the normal cast of characters, save for one. We are missing parts, as per the show title tonight, episode 18.
So you're trying to say we're a few parts short of the cast?
Hey, we are.
I guess.
Sorry.
It's part of us, I guess. So joining me tonight, we've got True Star Screamer. Parts. We do. That's what it should have been, but then everybody think that Nate was replacing him.
Well, that's not a good thing. I don't mind being on, but I ain't Partsformer's replacement.
True Star Screamer, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm here. I have beer, and you guys are, well, sort of near. So life is good.
I was thinking I was going to go a different way.
Yeah, I was too. It's like, I mean, we're not monetized, but man, you're really like drilling.
And Tman likes to take it up. That never mind.
Oh,
not me.
That's when you pop in and say you can't prove that.
While I'm playing with this. Oh, you can't even see me.
No, we can't even see.
No, we can't. No, we can't see you, Cena.
Oh man, let me leave and come back.
I gotta re-invite you, Mr. Joe Crab. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm back, and I have Jack, but I also can't rhyme like Star Screamer, so I don't know where to go with that. Oh, look, that
because
rhymes.
I'm the Mac.
No, I'm doing really good, man. I've kind of gotten fully recovered from TFCon.
Nice.
It took a couple days to get caught up with sleep, and took a couple days to get all the bots unopened and mess with them all, take pictures, but here I am.
Very cool. Well, we will get to your TFCon experience in just a little bit. Okay, but I can't wait to hear about it.
A lot of fun.
Mr. Tman 978, how you doing, man?
I'm awesome. Can you see me now?
I can see you now.
We can.
This is what I was playing with. Fans Toy Cyclonus, for the people that's listening. But yeah. I'm good. I'm happy.
Yeah. There's no keeping quietness about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you did a toy hunt this evening. Apparently, found something you're not going to tell us about. You got a you're going to reveal tomorrow.
I'm going to tell y'all. It's just one thing that's not that major that I'm not going to talk about, so it can be a surprise during my toy hunt.
I know what what it is.
I watched it today.
I have a hunch. I know what it is.
I think it was 3 for 15 Funko Pops.
I know, right?
I say it's a GameStop exclusive Spidey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Gamerverse Spider-Man.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, you're not saying no.
He's not denying.
Yeah. Guess I got to start checking
Hello.
GameStop.
I'm gonna sue.
All right. Guess are you going to show right now?
Oh no.
No. Okay. So
Can we do the whole, we're gonna do a separate whole part, right?
Yeah.
yeah, we will. But let's introduce our guest for the evening, Mr. Nathan Simmons, the Syndicate Santa himself, and the Nathan Simmons YouTube channel. How you doing tonight, man? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, yeah, we always see you. You always see you in the chat, so it's interesting to have you on this side.
I know, right? Well, the funny part is everybody knows me already, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Very cool.
But yeah,
Cool.
it's been kind of chaotic around my house lately.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how's fatherhood treating you right now?
Oh yeah, new baby.
It's amazing. I mean, baby number 4 for us.
Yeah.
This is the last
geez.
one.
You woke up and she was circling you with a pair of scissors?
No, not yet. But I already made that phone call to the doctor. So.
I like your fort that you're building back there.
Yeah, you see all these boxes. So in the process of having baby, we're also in the process of trying to move. That's my Transformers.
Oh, I'm debating. Oh, I'm not debating. I'm doing like the mental preparation right now of like what it's going to be like for me moving. I'm in the process of trying to buy a house. I was supposed to put a bid in on a house today, but we found it was under contract already, which is crazy because nobody told the agent. So
it happens.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not. I want to say I'm prepared, but I'm not prepared to pack all my stuff up.
Start packing.
Is when you finally get around to unpacking, it's like Christmas. Each box. Because you will kind of forget about some things. You'll be like, oh, yeah, that's where I put that.
I think it's going to be more like setting up a store display.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it is for mine. Like, literally, I have 15 boxes of just large boxes of Transformers. You know, the fun part is packing them back up. You're like, oh, crap, I got to transform that. I haven't did that in 5 years.
No.
You know, because it's been sitting in a display forever. And you're like, okay. And then you learn you accumulate more and more as it keeps going. You're like, well, I don't remember having that much before I moved here. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the old X-Transbot stuff with horror. Like, I'm not transforming that back to car mode. That ain't happening.
Oh man.
Tailgate. Yeah. Any of the
Do you have Batcube War Dog?
I do.
Yeah, he's gonna get super bubble wrap.
Good luck with that.
He's going in a baggie in case any parts fall off. He's gonna go to freezer bag, and then he's gonna get wrapped in bubble wrap, and then he's gonna go in a box, and that's just how I'm gonna do it. And then their boxes are gonna go in another box, and I'm not messing with that.
Yeah. Every time I've moved recently, it's just been my toys and the kids' toys mostly. I'm like, we don't even have that much furniture. It's just toys.
Toys.
Well, just take it into context. I have a pod, and half the pod's Transformers and toys.
Oh crap!
Wow.
Yeah, that is one thing to consider.
So after a lot of deliberation, I said, okay, some of this needs to go. So I ended up selling up everything but my Transformers, DBZ, Figuarts, NECA, and some Mezcos. So yeah, it's a little more manageable now.
Yeah, I'm actually debating whether or not I want to like do a mass sell off of my Chug stuff. A friend of mine, Justin Lynette, he actually sold a lot of his Chug, and he ended up getting just some cash and a couple hot toys out of it. From, one of the dealers on I think it was at TFCon. He just brought a tote full of stuff he didn't want anymore. I ended up getting like close to 500 for it. And I'm like, you know what? I really want a Toy World Constructor in the green, not the yellow, with the G1 add-on parts. And I'm like, if I can just offload all my Chug stuff and just have that out of my life and be like, I'm not going to get anything other than Optimus and Megatron out of the main line anymore. Get that monkey off my back. Maybe that'll make it a lot more manageable. I'm still going to do the Studio Series, but yeah, the Chug stuff, I don't really see what I'm going to do with the board. But let's keep momentum going. Let's talk about what we got this week. We'll go back to you, True Star Screamer. What did you get, man?
Not too big, but I got some fun stuff. Earlier this week, I got the Mattel Black Manta, which once again I found myself going, I'm looking for a Mattel figure. I am happy I bought a Mattel figure. I bought a Mattel figure.
Which one is that? Is that the
Black
the
Manta?
Is that the movie?
Multiverse.
I'll be honest, the way the movie's looking, it don't matter. That is the costume in the trailer looks just like the movie, like in the comic books or Young Justice.
Did you open it?
Not yet. I'll probably put myself on mute and open it a little later tonight.
Very cool.
Because I will put myself on mute when opening up a package.
Yeah, you learned the hard way there.
I'm looking at some other people right now.
Yeah, but I remember your days in the Hangouts when you would just hear like plastic separating from cardboard.
Anyway, also I found Rekgar.
Very nice.
Yay.
So I am looking forward to opening him up and throwing his limb onto something. Not sure yet. And then lastly, while technically it's two figures, I got the Battle Trap.
Nice.
I was holding off on this, but I figured once I bought Studio Series Bumblebee and realized I could waste $20 on a legend-size figure, I did it again and bought two legend-size figures. And I will tell you, I love this guy. I mentioned this a little bit offline, but this, honestly, is what should be used in the Bumblebee movie. Not those two triple changers. Those two Decepticons should be exactly like this guy, because I think it would have been really cool seeing a helicopter and a car flying together. They do their robot thing, and then at the climax of the movie, they'd be fighting Bumblebee, and they're perfectly in scale for that. So there's so much I love about these two combined. You know, from ankle pivots, waist joints, ab crunches. The only thing it doesn't have is a ball joint on the head. That is my only complaint, and I'll take it.
Yeah.
Should they be toy vehicles in the movie, you're saying? If they're the same height as Bumblebee.
Well, you know, you could have like a drone helicopter or whatever, you know? I mean, but
do you think that's a missed opportunity, though, in Studio Series, where they could make triple changers instead of just the regular ones?
Right, but I'm just saying in general, like they could have used these guys and maybe slightly modify them, and I think they would have been really cool for the Bumblebee movie. I'm all for it, but I'm just like, I would love to see this, and I cannot wait for a fly.
We haven't seen a movie yet.
Yeah.
True.
When I see that Studio Series, is it Dropkick or is it Shatter? It's one of the two. But when I see it, I think to myself, you know, the color, it looks like Battle Trap.
Yeah. Well, I really cannot wait for I can't wait for Flywheels now.
Oh, that one does look really good. Yeah,
if it's like this, I'll be very happy. Though it always makes me wonder if, just to tick him off, they say, "Hey, buddy, can you please get your head out of your ass?" And he's like, "Dude, that's the only way I stay together." But
the bad news with Flywheels is it was confirmed it's just two vehicles. They don't have separate robot modes.
It's authentic.
Yeah, but I mean, you're gonna have them combined anyway,
and it's gonna be bigger than him anyway.
Yeah, but this is some. You said it. Even you said it, this is some of the best Hasbro engineering done in a long time. And I mean, the plastic's good, the detail's good, the paint's good. Has some really nice Decepticon symbols on it. This is a near flawless set. I cannot praise this anymore, except for really could have used a ball joint for the head. So that's my haul.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, Mr. Joe Crab, I know you got a lot of cool stuff this week.
Yes, I did. So I filled an entire, I don't have the bag, but I filled an entire bag from TFCon. So I try to go kind of in order. I got the X-Transbots G2 breakdown. I've got the Mastermind, the Asterisk Mode Aero Alpha. And then when we went into the dealer room on Saturday, I believe the very first thing we picked up was the Magic Square Magnus.
Yeah, I love that thing. I messed with Matt's.
Really nice. I did grab an Iron Factory Strikes. Oh man, what else did I get? So then I went to Transformers Land's table. They had a bunch of Masterpiece for really good prices. I know you guys were putting doubts in my mind of whether or not they're KO or not. I don't think they're KO. Shockwave, which was kind of on my radar. I told myself if I found it for like under 100, I'd grab it. And it was 85. And I got Wheeljack for 40. They were really cool, though. They would work with you. So the more you got, the more they'd work with you. And I think they ended up knocking off like $5 off. I think I bought that and a $10 effect fee. So I'm going to apply that $5 to, let's say, Wheeljack, and I got them for $35.
That's not bad.
So,
at all.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Great
If
figure.
you got it
too.
from a table, I don't think you got a KO. Like somebody would have.
I don't think they had like the only stuff I saw. Like there was Infinite Transformations. Megatron was there, but I didn't see anything that was like blatant. There was no Takasa Tony, anything like that. Everything looked like it was all legit.
No Black Mamba or Wei Zhangs.
There was Wei Zhang, but see,
The Wei Zhang doesn't. Yeah, they're blatant about it.
They're not blatant about it. And neither is Black Mamba. But I mean, I didn't see anything. I mean, there's so much going on. You cannot take it all in.
That's what she said.
You spend all days there, and you really won't see everything. But from what I saw, everything looked like it was legit. And then while we were kind of walking around, we were actually, I think we were at the TF Source booth. They announced over the loudspeaker, hey, we just had a box of stuff show up unexpected, and it was the Stealth Azalea. So I did not get this at first. Matt bought this, and we immediately went outside the hall, went to the bar to crack it open. And as soon as we cracked it open, and I saw like all these hands, like 6 faces, I was like, this is like a figure arts, level of accessories. And I was like, there better be some left. I ran back in right away. Very glad that I did that. And I think that was, one more. So I was walking back around. I actually think it might have been Transformers Land again. And out of the corner of my eye, I saw a tuned version of the Make Toys Gundog. And my arm just instinctively snapped out and grabbed the thing. They probably thought I was trying to steal it.
I got slapped for that kind of behavior. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I didn't even have to think about it. The price was right, and I already had the toy version that I leave in alt mode. So I got this one here. I'm gonna leave in bot mode. And I think that may. Oh no, one more. Wait,
but wait, there's more. You're Billy Mazing us tonight.
Yeah, so Sentinel Toys was there, or Sentinel International was there, and they had I can't remember the name of this guy. I think his name is Blackwing, maybe. Really neat, kind of small, maybe 8-inch, all die cast. Transforms into like a falcon and back into a robot. They had a sample there on the play. I think they were like regular price, like $130, and the guy was like, "Hey, we're trying to spark interest in this market, and we're selling this today just for the TFCon for $60."
Wow!
And I was like,
"Whoa,
this is really cool." Like I had it in my hand, and I was like, for something like this with this much die cast and this much engineering built into it with articulation for $60, couldn't go wrong. And I grabbed one of those.
You have it nearby?
Actually, I do somewhat nearby.
Quick, let's talk about him.
You see his butt?
It's here.
Oh.
Ooh.
Dang.
So I tried to get some decent pictures for the Instagram, but I didn't have a good background for him, and he was really hard to photograph.
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
Gimme.
it's really
Challenge
cool.
accepted.
Like a robot talking. So mail them to you, huh?
It transforms?
Yes, it does. I've got his box. Right here.
We should have made this episode title "Making Joe Get Up Every 5 Seconds."
Yeah, he transforms into this.
Right.
Well, that's badass.
Yeah, it's like a jet falcon. And I don't know if this is actually from an anime or some kind of like Super Robot Wars kind of canon, but never seen it before. But it was really cool. It was not
Consider my interest peaked,
You know, they sold it by getting it in your hand and having a demo on the table.
which is a great way of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
What's that toy line that's bringing out that star screen that turns into a bird?
Oh,
Chariot of the Gods.
no, I know what he's talking about though. There's two. There's the one from Generation Toy, and then there's DX9. He's also doing one where, yeah, because DX9 has their first one coming out, which is the Hot Rod.
Oh, it looks like a bull.
Yeah, no, it's a lion. Sideswipe turns
A lion, yeah.
the bull. Yeah.
I thought it was I thought it was a different company.
Yeah, I
But,
thought it was probably a toy something because.
Oh yeah, they're doing the Bumblebee.
Didn't Bobby do a video on that? Like there was some kind of.
Yeah.
His little conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go back and check on that one again.
I want to say it's called Chariot of the Gods.
No, Google it. Well, as True Star Streamer looks that up, I put him on the spot.
I can't grab my computer. I'm on my phone.
Ah. All right. Well, I will.
Somebody in the chat. Somebody in the chat.
Somebody in the chat.
I'll
Look
do
at
it.
that. Joe's got it. Let's get on to Tman. T, what did you get this week, buddy?
Well, as you already saw, because everybody that's here subscribed to my channel, right? I have Quietest from Fans Toys. It is awesome. I like this jet mode. I've been transforming it back and forth. People are complaining, but I've been transforming it back and forth. It's not difficult or hard. It just takes a long time to get here.
Yeah.
Would you prefer that or War Dog?
This definitely by a mile. When I sell War Dog, he will not be transformed. He's gonna have a whole bunch of bubble wrap around him. But I also got X-Transbot's Flip Out from Partsformer. He picked it up for me. Well, Partsformer and Jew.
You're flipping out over some of the details on him.
Yeah, I like him. He has a great ab crunch. Like, well, it's good right now. But
his ab crunch is basically he dropped the soap in the shower.
Yeah, like oh, and that back. Look at that.
Yeah.
But tonight, not for me. I picked up this for somebody's haul next week. Marvel Legends Scarlet Spider. Classic. It's very shiny and pretty in person.
I saw somebody's photography of it, and the other thing I like about it too is it doesn't have the black outline over the eyes. I really like that.
You know, it sure doesn't.
I think I missed it. Did you show Flip Out's ass?
He did.
Yeah.
Can you do that again?
make him make the soap noise. Oh.
Yeah. Excuse me, your ball joints are showing.
Everything's showing. And tonight I found, well, not tonight. The other day when I got my new glasses, I picked up this. Finally, Sabretooth from the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave. And today I got lucky. Well, after I found that, after I saw the Scarlet Spider, I looked behind the counter and was like, please tell me you're not holding that for anybody. Probably multiple men from the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure wave.
Ah, nice.
So now you can finally build Apocalypse. So that's like.
Well, there's one more guy.
Who do you need still?
Gladiator.
Yes.
Oh, you don't have
the one you don't want to buy.
No.
They always do it. They always give you that one figure. You're like, I need this. I don't want this.
It's a shame Angel didn't come with not just the grip, but another head for Apocalypse, like another.
Oh yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah.
And
Another
while
head, or even another weapon hand.
I was checking on GameStop's website to see what they have, and because everybody else has been finding this figure, and I got lucky and saw this Spider-Man from the Gamerverse, Marvel Legends. He looks nice.
I like that they changed the head sculpt.
And they he has webs in here, but he doesn't have web holding hands, so I'm gonna have to find out how that works.
Because I got into an argument with somebody on, I think it was like the Syndicate or something, where they said that because they originally had the Spider UK head on, and he was like, "No, they don't change head sculpts. They don't change anything." And I was like, "Well, I'm hearing that that's why they delayed it."
I can't tell. I'm gonna have to.
That's
I'm gonna
definitely
have to
not the
compare
Spider
that
UK
when
head.
I'll compare.
Spider UK had that square jaw, and that, that's like the thing that always made him stand out. He does not have that square jaw.
Is it the 2099 head?
No, you mean the white 2199 man?
Yeah.
I don't think so. That's behind me, I think. I have a bunch of toys just laying down.
The problem what you were describing about
No,
what you were describing with the web issue of not being able to hold it. The House of M Spider-Man has the same issue of they packed him with a web, but he doesn't have a hand to hold it with.
2099 has a special sculpt. Like these eyes are sculpted onto his face. Plus, it has a mouth sculpted on. If y'all can see that. But not here in this room with me, but I have all of Partsformer's haul from TFCon. Pretty much all of it, so I can review it. But if you go back on this channel, you can see his haul yourself.
You should have videotaped me handing all that stuff off to you, because damn, was it a lot of stuff.
Oh, you know what? The haul is on my channel.
Yeah.
And I also picked up something else, but I'm going to save it for my toy hunt.
Yeah.
So y'all can watch that tomorrow.
Right on, right on.
So real quick.
We'll click the video.
Just in.
Yes.
That's right.
A was right. It is Chariots of the Gods.
Ah.
And actually, this is one I'm looking forward to, that Wolf Wheeljack.
Starscreamer knows his star screams.
He does.
Don't doubt me, boys.
All right. Well, moving on. We'll let our guests go. Nate, I know you got some cool stuff this week. I know you actually had a video up with all of your stuff.
Yeah, give me a second. My video's been crappy for the last month. I think it's my phone. Every time I do a Hangouts, it's always been having this issue.
Oh, the video's gone out. Hey, one more thing, but while he's waiting, they forgot to put the glue on the sides of this, so I can put my fingers behind here, which is weird. I've never experienced that.
Quit fingering your
Spider-Man.
You're gonna get us further demonetized. We're gonna get an IOU from Google. That's how this is gonna work. You're gonna be like, shit, are you gonna stay on here?
He spent the whole time fingering his box.
I thought this was called finger action from the
Did you see what I did to Azalea today?
What'd you
No, this is there's a soundbite.
There's kids watching.
Yeah, there's children watching. No, there's not.
I was showing
kids, why aren't you in bed?
Go to bed.
The rear of her car is her actual butt, and then I was like trying to feel if it was die cast.
Okay, Jobby.
That booty touch technique.
Yeah.
Patented booty touch technique.
Is this at work?
No, this was on my review of her.
You know, that's what you ought to do. You ought to bake into your review that noise that you made for when you made a flip out, bend over, and cough. Like every time you have like your subscribe thing come up, yay! When you do the booty touch technique, you gotta have to go, oh.
For those of you who are just listening and not watching, it's as sad as it looks. I'll tell you that right now. This is as sad as it looks. It sounds sad. It looks sad.
We got we got to get to Nate's Hall, and then I'll go, and then we'll get into some discussions. We'll talk about real stuff.
Hey, go on, get yours, brother.
All right. Well, I'll go through mine. So first and foremost, I met up with Tman. I gave him a bunch of stuff, and all I got was this lousy wreck car. That's the beauty of Chug, is you can just, I don't care.
You can chug it.
I begged and pleaded with Partsformer to help me out with TFCon goodies because I couldn't be there this year. I wish I had, because it looks like you guys had a blast, and I had several people over the weekend reaching out, telling me they wished I was there, and I wish I got to go. And we'll get into TFCon 2019 because I do want to talk about that, the location, and see what you guys feel. But first on the list, I got the G2 crack up, and this is the only figure I got that has a well, actually, no, I take that back. I had 2 defects, but I'll get into that. That has a defect, and I can't tell if it's a paint chip or stress. Bottom line is I contacted X-Transbots. They're sending me a replacement spoiler, so that's taken care of. It doesn't impact the integrity of the figure at all. I'm still going to hand it off to T to take a look at. This is a beautiful figure. I'm going to talk about it here now. For anybody that doesn't know about the G2 breakdown, he was a BotCon 1994 exclusive, and basically they didn't release any of the other Stunticons. So a lot of people are wondering whether or not they're going to do a whole set of these guys.
That would be awesome if they didn't.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The box for this guy actually emulates the same box that they had in '94 for the breakout of the breakdown that came out then, where it has in the bottom, it tells you can collect all the pieces to form that they're calling theirs Monolith. But I love this. I love this art that they did for it.
Now with real disappointment action.
Now with real disappointment. Actually, before I got into my TFCon stuff, I got this guy. I finally got him courtesy of 215 Toys. I know a lot of people probably hear Bobby talk about 215. They're an East Coast toy shop, a small shop. I really recommend checking out their website. They have great customer service. And I was glad to finally get this guy. I put in my order a long time ago and finally got him. He is probably the best looking piece that Vans Toys has ever put out. I'm a huge Cyclonus fan. In fact, my online handle when I first joined Boards was Cyclonus 2010 back in the 90s. And this is a really good piece. The target mastery comes with is awesome, and it's really breathtaking on a shelf. Back to my TFCon haul. I said TFCon really weird there. I also got Flip Out, and unlike T's, mine actually is not floppy. Oh, there he did it. Does it when I'm live, right? It's called stage fright, but for the most part, yeah, he doesn't do what his just did. Stiff as a board.
They make pills for that.
Yeah, give him a little blue Energon cube. I also got, this was the figure I wanted the most before they announced, anything else. And this is the the Aero Alpha Asterix mode, which Joe and Matt also got. It's a really stunning piece. It's based on a Super Robot Wars character, which I'm not familiar with, but I love the aesthetics on this guy. I love the writing on him. I love the paint. I love everything about this deco, especially even though this is meant to be an homage to the movie Drift. This is the TFCon Toronto exclusive Stray Asterix. These guys look beautiful together. They're done in a very similar style with the writing and the characters on their cloaks. And I really can't excuse me. Really can't wait to get these two on a shelf together.
How many of that mold do you have?
Let's see. Are we counting the deadlock version?
Yes.
Yeah.
5.
Jeez. It's like your own personal seeker fleet, except they are all the same character.
Yeah. Actually, so like I've got wing, and I've got the asterisk mode. I've got drift and the asterisk mode, and then I've got So if they do I don't know, it's the different head on Stray, which is the version of Deadlock. So I don't know if they do a Stray asterisk. Could they really?
Well, I was a little conflicted where to put him, because I was like, all right, I'm gonna put him on the shelf. Do I put him with my Transformers over here? Do I put him over here with like my other giant robots? Like maybe next to Maz and Kaiser or something, and that's where he ended up.
Nice. I'm probably gonna have the same dilemma when it comes down to it. But it's gonna be Grimlock in the chat called the close smallpox scarves. Holy shit. Before we derail ourselves, I got to give a huge shout out to Parts yet again. This is probably the coolest thing I got this week, and this is the Azalea Stealth. I love black repaints. I've got a ton of them. I've got any Optimus Prime that comes out for the black repaint, I tend to get it. I've got the Black Rodimus. I've got the Shattered Glass version of Blaster. I've got the black repaint of Trax. I really can't wait for them to do a Diaclone version of Ironhide. But it's really cool to have an evil RC. Let me get in. I have this face on mine. I love the jack-o'-lantern motif for it.
I gave her a Decepticon symbol.
And I gave her a Decepticon symbol both on her chest, and I gave her one of the tiny DJD ones on the back for like a little hood ornament emblem. And I love this figure. It was funny when it came out. Everybody was a buzz online about it, and initially we were gonna try and have Joe get me one, and then he decided he wanted one. Our buddy Lance decided he wanted one. And I finally found somebody who said that I don't want one. And I was like, oh, dude, could you go and grab me one? And he's like, oh, after the third-party panel. And by the time he got to it, they were all out. Fortunately, Matt went back, turned his hat around 180, and said, can I get one of those? And he was able to get me one before before my friend came and said, oh, sorry, bud, they're all sold out. So I was elated. I was very happy. Granted, I would have been able to get one through my good buddy TJ Duck, aka Kuma Style. He had something worked out where he was like, I can get you one, because I think he had a connection. To ask him for the full details. Last couple of things. I had this guy on order for a while. Corden. Finally got him.
Oh. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
with a pumpkin spice RC.
Pumpkin spice RC. Oh God!
So you're trying to say she's a basic Transformer?
Oh Jesus Christ! And Corden is okay. Mine actually had a paint chip on it. It wasn't missing any parts, but my good buddy Ken. He's got one that has a lot of defects, and he's like, hey, before I send this back, just send me he's in Virginia, so we're doing a part swap. So I mailed him the piece today, and then he's mailing me the piece that he had on the shoulder. So I'm just going to get that and pop that on. I should have it probably like Monday or Tuesday. And last but not least, check your GameStop if you've ever been interested in Pixel Pals. This guy was like a couple bucks. They were on 75% off clearance. And on top of that, I got that $25% action figure discount on top. It's stacked for whatever reason. Like when I looked at the
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I looked at the
Power
receipt,
Gaming.
Yeah, they were next to nothing. All right. Nate, did you want to go over anything you got, or we want to get right into our
Sure. Let me
discussion?
show you what I got this week.
Everything.
I didn't get everything. Just a lot of stuff from pre-orders for last 2 weeks. This is that new Studio Series 15 Freedom one with all the upgrades crap on it. It's still the same piece of. We're not monetized, right?
No.
No.
You can say shit,
So-
fuck, piss, whatever you want.
Okay.
Dave's
Now,
daughter's
my
going to learn
channel-
it someday.
Shit-cock.
Exactly. This is
She's
still the same
asleep.
piece of
She's
shit.
asleep.
This is the same one that Vangelis, I think Bolt Matrix, and everybody hated just like I did. It's the only thing it did to come with the little scoop and this little, how you doing? And if I hadn't got it for free from BBTS, I wouldn't even got it.
Uh,
Can it transform with that stuff on?
Nope, not at all. You got to take all of it off.
and they didn't put pins in it at all?
Nope. There's no
Shit.
pins. They didn't do anything to the actual core figure at all. All they did was give you the new little Charlie figure, the little pieces, and some stickers. Courtesy of Pascatic, I did get the new Studio Series 18 Bumblebee. This one's pretty good, but mine just doesn't want to stand with it to save his life. So mine's looser than I mean, yeah. Gotta need some future polish on that one. This guy, I'm having a blast with. It's the legendary Optimus Prime. I never had the actual original one. This guy is nice. He transforms real easy and everything too. And it's ratcheted everywhere from the legs.
That's on my list.
You got to get it. I mean, I got mine from Amazon Japan for $60. So, and that was shipped. Definitely worth the purchase. And then last but not least, if the video will then cooperate.
Well, just describe it to us.
Well, let's just say T's been done 2 reviews of it lately. And I got Fans Toys, Quietus, Cyclonus, but I got mine for $75.
Holy crap.
Who'd you give a back rub to?
Nobody.
Yeah, my
So I had a ton of credit with Chosen Prime. So you know how if you buy so much stuff from them, you get points every time. So you end up getting, the credit and stuff. So I just cashed in a bunch of credit in and then just got it. I'm still keeping Elegos.
Prime speedy recoveries.
I know, right? But the cool thing I like about this one, this is more cartoon accurate, while Elegos is more toy accurate. That's why I'm going to keep Elegos.
Yeah.
Because I like the toy look as well. But I want to bring up a topic, though, while we're talking about it. So you're saying that you don't think Fans Toys did anything any better than Cyclonus. What about Sovereign and Galvatron?
I actually think that I have them on the shelf next to each other. I think Sovereign's a very good figure, but I don't think that he has the presence that the Cyclonus has, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I like the Galvatron from Fans Toys, but I mean, there's still something about the other one from, what is it, DX9?
Yeah, Tyrant.
Yeah, Tyrant. There's just something about that look in alt mode, which is one of those happy to glad kind of things, is where, you always can have a good alt mode or you have a good robot mode. You hardly ever get both good modes. Cyclonus is definitely a good example of having both modes really nice.
Yeah.
Galvatron Sovereign, not so much. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the alt mode of him. I like DX9's look better.
It's those
So,
front
what's going to happen
treads.
now? Yeah, I mean, using the treads for hands, I really wasn't really fond of that,
Yeah.
But you know what's going to happen. Takara's going to come out with it next, and then we're all going to sell ours.
I kind of stopped doing that. I stopped doing the sell-offs unless it's something kind of like the Bad Cube War Dog, like that just is not accurate, and like the DX9 Chigurh, where there's really not much you can do with it. I'm keeping my third-party stuff to fill in the alt modes where I can, because I'm a Takara completionist. Like even Elegos and Quietus, I'm keeping both because there were 2, those the Armada. So, I'm keeping Elegos, and then if they come out with the Takara Cyclonus, I'll probably throw Elgos in his jet mode with the Galvatron inside. That's one of the best details about that figure is he came with that little articulated Galvatron that sits in the cockpit. Or sits in the cockpit. Jesus.
Cockpit.
Cockpit.
Galvatron, I want you inside me.
Get in my cockpit. And then before you do that, let's use the cold booty touch technique.
I know, right?
Besides this guy, I really like Grinder a lot in both modes.
Oh. Wait, you're talking about a toy, not
yeah,
the
you're not talking about the
Fans Toys Grinder.
So that's why he's called Tman. You just got Tman just got 10 more subs from that joke.
I know, right?
Probably. I wouldn't be shocked. They might inbox me later. Hey, Tman. Like,
hey, Tman.
Yeah.
Like that guy.
An ankle pivot, a little bit of ab crunch, and I heard you like the butterflies. Work that joke in.
Oh boy. So, before we get into our topics for the evening, Nate, we mentioned that you're known as the Syndicate Santa. So real quick, tell us about your YouTube channel, what you like to collect, and what got you involved in the community.
So I've been in the community for probably 15 years. What got me started, of course, was TFW, TFormers, T-Formers way back when. I was just generically a Transformers guy. Really didn't do a lot with Legends and stuff till about 4 years ago when Hasbro really picked up on it. Always loved toys. I love being able to play with my kids with toys, so to speak. So we always had a blast doing that, and I always like doing it now. And for me, I've been collecting for 30 years. I've been collecting since I was a kid. I still have my G1 Scorponok, from the 80s. And so I'm always going to be a collector and whatnot. But I like the camaraderie that we have as friends and as collectors together, because we have a lot of similar likes. Then we also have a lot of dislikes that we don't like together. And that's okay, because we come together as a community to talk about it, I like the different opinions and the reviews, whether it be, from Tman or Bobby or anybody, and I really really value it. And then about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, I started my YouTube channel because of the Syndicate. The Syndicate got me started into it. I've been doing that for like 10 years, just going to stores randomly, going back and forth, looking for stuff. Typically it was Transformers related. But then a buddy of mine geeked up, said, hey, why don't you do a video of it instead? And I said, okay, let me try that. And of course, I got brutally killed during my first video of it because I did it in portrait mode versus landscape. I remember Tman, he was giving me a hard time about it. He's like, turn your damn camera around. But I do got to say thank you to him, though, publicly. He gave me a lot of good pointers as far as like, hey, how to shoot it, slow down. That's a big mistake a lot of us used to do as toy hunters, is going through damn fast through a store that nobody can see what you're actually looking at.
I want to throw up watching footage.
I know, especially at 60 frames per second.
As a J.J. Abrams toy hunt, you got lens flare going on, shaky cam.
Exactly. But the whole Syndicate Santa thing kind of started, about that same time I started YouTube, because where I lived at in Georgia, nobody hunted there. So I found everything, literally everything. I'm talking piece of spice. We're talking, you name it. I found it out there, because I had FYEs, I had all the big box stores, but nobody really hunted them, because there was no real collectors. So as I would find stuff and say, hey, who needs what, and literally, I think within the first month of doing that, I had 60 boxes go out from my house.
Jeez.
Wow.
Tman got one of them. Plastic Addict got one of them. Let's see, Rube got one, and a bunch of other people. But literally, now granted, I didn't pay for them all myself either. Don't get me wrong. I'm not wealthy here. I'm just an engineer. I don't make that much. But no, I was actually glad to be able to go out, hunt, and find stuff because it was readily available. I got to California. That's a whole different damn story. There ain't nothing out here. I'm competing with, just in my town alone, there's 13 different hunters that have YouTube channels and they're all hunting. And so it's like, if I don't find it first, I'm not finding it, or I have to go wait on the reissue of it to come out. So it's definitely been an interesting thing for me. And like really now, I really can't hunt now. We got so much going on in the house. I mean, it's been crazy. But I mean, that actually brings up a bigger topic too, though, is distribution of items.
Mhm.
There's a lot of stuff that we collect as collectors that are not readily available. You can't get it if you go to Walmart or Target or stuff like. I mean, look at the Fans Toys, Cyclonus, for example. You can't go to a store and find it. If you get lucky, maybe a comic shop or a toy store, a dedicated toy store might have it. A lot of us have had to go transition to online for that reason because you can't find it physically.
Mhm.
And it happens. I mean, I think it was Partsformer was talking about it during the hunt video at TFCon. Being able to actually see things, at a store within TFCon, see all the things that us as Transformer collectors want to see. You just don't get to do that. There isn't stores like that a lot. The only one
Yeah,
I
that
know
sucks.
of really, like there are a couple that's in Ohio that Cincy Nerd goes to, and those guys, and they are like dedicated Transformer stores. Usually it's like you get the sprinkled in here and there of a little bit, but that's about it.
It's
So
one
with
near
that being,
us that I saw some. They had the Gravity Builder and they had Phoenix.
You talking about Old Time
So,
Toys?
yeah, I need to go back there. I plan on going back there in December.
Well, thing is, a lot of these private
Oh.
toys, they buy them from the same place we buy them, and so they just throw their markup
Yeah.
on there.
Why go in December? Why don't we just go like next month when the meet? Well, actually, no, it's this month. The next meetup, we'll leave.
In December I should actually have money to spend.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the factor. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, Nate, that's pretty awesome how you got roped into it. Yeah, I mean, definitely, I agree a lot with what you said there, and I that really resonated with me when Parts made that comment because I went to TFCon last year, and that was the thing that stuck out was that you get to see this stuff in person on a shelf. It's such a refreshing thing to have all that stuff out in front of you. And to actually be able to see it and have it be tangible and know you can get it instantly because it's when you deal with this stuff and you deal with online, the thing that sucks, and I think the reason why I like toy hunting is that it's an instantaneous thing. There's a impulsive thing to it, whereas when you go online, it's like you click and then for me, Quietus, that was something I ordered 2 years ago, and it's finally here. Whereas you go to the store, it's I got it. And when you're at TFCon and everything's there, it's on the shelf. Like Joe was talking about with that gun dog, it was just like, he grabbed it, and you don't really get to do that with being online.
That's actually been like one of the things. Always been kind of like a dream of mine, because to have my own business. And actually, me and Matt on the way back from TFCon, we talked a lot about like opening up a store and kind of catering to collectors and kids of all ages and having a wide variety of price point items, but to be able to go to a store and know like you're going to have a decent selection of SH Figure Arts line, you're going to have a decent selection of third-party Transformers, a good selection of Marvel Legends, and just go down the list. I mean, but there's a lot of like things that go into it, and there's
You got to
probably
be like a nerd mecca for that location.
yeah, but it has been one of the things like not only do I've always wanted to be like my own boss and be a business owner and all that stuff, but like to be able to do something like that's almost like I want that to exist. I want that to be like I know I can go an hour away and drive there and see all this stuff and grab something off the shelf. So since I want it, like I'm kind of like daydreaming in my mind, like it's actually up trying to actually make it into fruition too, is like just be the one to do it, just take that leap, try it out and see what happens.
Yes, that's kind of my plan. That's why I'm a comic collector too. So a lot of people might not know that, but I run the Cine Comics page for us, as well as run the City Comic streams once a week. That is kind of my bigger all-time goal. That's why I had so much stuff in storage, is having a supply, because that's going to be the thing you're going to find out, Joe, because I'm a business owner. So being a business owner is a big feat, because you have to have supply, you have to have demand, you have to have customers. If you don't have steady customers, you're going to have a lot of supply and not a lot of money. Now you're trying to pay rent, on the place that you're owing, and you can get back, and then your taxes can add up real fast. So
That's like
there's a lot
to launch something from scratch, and to like you think about it, like you're gonna go place all those orders to fill all these empty shelves. Like, how much does it take? Like, what do you need to go to the bank and say, I need this much money to make this happen, and then convince them to do it? Of course, and they're going to say like, oh, you want to compete with online, you want to compete with Walmart, you want to compete with Target, you're going to fail, yada, yada, yada. But they're all different. And no one, like, those people don't understand. Like, you can't go to Walmart, Target, and find this stuff. Like, they're here in Maryland, All Time Toys is the closest to something like that. And it's a little over an hour away from me. I mean, it's a bit of a hike for a lot of people to make.
That's kind of how it is for us. We have Frankenstein's here, an hour away from me. It's like the Mecca, for toys and Transformers, you name it, down there. But the problem is that getting to that, having it readily available, but then at the same time, there's a lot of competitors within that same exact building. Like they had, remember the Exovergen upgrade sets that they had for a while ago. One guy had it for $90. One guy had it for $130. But then he would do a deal like, if you bought both versions of it, I'll give it to you for $200. Exactly. So that is going to always be your fight: is online versus in store.
I mean, I like that Barnes and Noble's been carrying a lot more lately. Like when I walked in there and they had the armor for the Action 66 Mega Man stuff. They'd had the Super Mimpla Voltron kit. They've been carrying the Digi-Evolving Spirits line, which I'm probably the only person that's collecting those, but they're carrying new stuff. They're not. That's the reason I got into them, was because Jobby and Bulb Matrix were saying their praises. But it's cool that retailers carrying new stuff. Normally when you would see the high end stuff at a place, and when Toys R Us started doing it, they were like months and months behind. But that's kind of a factor at Toys R Us, or God rest their souls, I guess.
That is a hurdle for those big, like we mentioned earlier, distribution. Even like Barnes and Noble, Target, all those big major retailers. Yeah, they dabble in it. But like you go to a Barnes and Noble and you have no idea and that's kind of maybe part of the fun. You have no idea what you're going to find. You might find one DBZ figure arts. You might find a Street Fighter. They're going to have 2 Ninja Turtles, but you don't know exactly what it's going to be. And like, Matt was kind of saying, like he came up with the whole tagline. I think it was like the hunt ends here, or the end of the hunt, or something like that. Like, to be able to have a place where you could go, even if it is an hour drive, and know that when you walk in the door, you're going to have, and not months later, it's going to be fairly recent. You're going to have that line of whatever you're looking for.
Well, GameStop's doing it too. I mean, I go into GameStops now and I don't know what I'm going to find. And I went into a couple this week. I went into the one that was kind of out of my way. It was near my dentist's office when I went earlier this week. And they had, some interesting stuff. It's newer Marvel Legends, and different.
That was me when I found Ermac there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You found a Storm Collectibles exclusive figure there. You weren't expecting to find that. Their clearance sections are, kind of like your mileage may vary. And on top of that, like I was at the GameStop this evening. I was actually hunting down a Christmas gift for my friend. That's what brought me in there. I get started on Christmas early. Don't hate me. I'm
just happy you were thinking about me.
Right? Not only did I find those Pixel Pals early, for a deep discount, they had the NECA 1/4 scale turtles, and I hadn't seen those in a GameStop before. So I think it's cool that places are starting to offer it, but I think what you're saying there, Joe, is you kind of have the right idea to have that storefront where people in the area can, especially if you were to cater to, like the Baltimore, DC, Annapolis area, right? Third Eye Comics is becoming like nationally recognized because of all the variety that they carry. They have a pretty big convention presence, and on top of all that, they also offer, they have an online storefront, and I think that's kind of the way to do it. Grimlock in the chat was mentioning Toy Jojo, and I know they have an actual storefront. So does Ages 3 and Up.
Where's Third Eye? I keep forgetting about them.
They're in Annapolis, I believe, off of West Street still.
I always forget about them. I know they
only
had
comic
good
shop I
prices
know in
when
Maryland's
saw
Beyond
them in
Comics.
Baltimore. Who?
Oh, Beyond Comics. That's the only one I know in Maryland.
When I seen Third Eye at the Baltimore Comic Con, they had some good prices.
Yeah, I'll have to get you out to their store one day. We'll make the trip. That was where I got the shield for my Captain America cosplay.
Oh.
But moving into topics, so we can get TFCon out of the way. I know, Joe, you kind of got your experience in here. They revealed that TFCon USA is coming sooner than expected, and I know pretty much every talking head out there has added their 2 cents, but why not add ours? It's coming in March of next year in Los Angeles. What do you guys think about that?
I'm happy I can go to one finally.
Well, I have a lot of friends on the West Coast, and that's the general reaction I'm hearing is, a lot of people were feeling jaded that it stuck to the Eastern Midwest and the East Coast.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice for it to be out there. Like, you guys could, make either a short flight or a long car ride like we did to Chicago. But it does, it kind of puts it out of range for, I don't think people realize how big this community is on the East Coast. And I think a lot of people are not going to make that trip.
Well, Lucas in the chat just brought up a point I was going to make, wondering if there's going to be 2 U.S. shows next year. Because, that's the thing, is that there's such a fan base on the West Coast and a huge fan base on the East Coast. And if you have it in the West and you have it in the East, I think the folks in the Midwest can travel to the East or the West. I think it would be good if they did it and broke it up. I mean, there's so many exclusives. We didn't really see too many reveals for 2018. It was stuff basically that they revealed that we knew was already coming.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of makes you wonder, what are they going to reveal in March? Were they saving that? MMC and the others are going to have exclusives. Maybe Maki Toys will have some exclusives. X-Trans Bots and Maki Toys. So, if they're planning it for March, that's not that far away in the grand scheme of things. So,
let's put it this way, we have. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, for me, it's an awesome time to be, because I haven't got to go to to a con like that since BotCon, when it was out here. So it's kind of the catch-22. Is like a lot of us can't fly all the way to the East Coast, and vice versa. East Coast guys can't come to the West Coast. What they really should do is do 3 of them, actually. Do one in the West, one in the middle, and one in the East. Split it up. Have one in springtime, one in summer, and one in, fall/winter time for everybody else.
Make it more accessible. I'm sure the vendors would love that because they make bank there.
Oh, yeah.
And on top of all that, it kind of allows people to plan, like, I want to go to TFCon, but September is not a good time. I can plan for the one in March. I know a lot of people from the West have flown out, and this year I know a lot of folks overseas that actually came to TFCon Chicago, so they're willing to make the trip. But yeah, and I know with BotCon stayed to the West Coast for years, a number of years, I think, because all the Bay films. our buddy Partsformer just chimed in, and he said that he wonders if they're doing it on the West Coast for that G1 voice actors reunion because it would be easier to accommodate on the West Coast. That makes sense too. But I personally hope it's 3 shows.
Well, it's also the 35th anniversary of Transformers too.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that. So a lot of the guys, I mean, we've had a lot of voice actors pass away recently too. So they're trying to get all of them at one shot while they can, in case something happens.
Go ahead, Parks. I mean, Starscreamer.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I mean, it's like you look at the Comic Cons. You got SDCC, and now you got New York Comic Con, and then probably the big one, PAX. You know, you got PAX East, PAX West.
That's more of a gaming con.
Well, it is, but I'm saying, is there conventions that outgrew themselves?
Oh, good point. Yeah.
So I'm more going with the part of what would stop this, you know, from being a TFCon East, a TFCon West. Technically, they'd be having 3 then, because then you got East, West, and Canada.
Yeah.
That's I've heard a lot of people say, like, not having it on the East Coast is not a big deal because they can go to Canada, but then you don't, like, you got to get a passport.
Wow, got one of those.
You can make a drive. Like, I actually didn't realize it was as close. Like, from here, it's only like a little under 8 hours. So
really,
that drive easier than what we just did, 12-hour drive to Chicago, and if you have a passport already and you don't, that's not an issue, then that's fine. But people that are going to fly, you know, then you got to look into the fact that you're going across the border, and I don't know, like you roll up in the truck across the border and you got like $1,000 worth of Transformers in the back, and like didn't
that happen to Orson a couple years ago?
It did.
Claim all that. You have to pay taxes on it when you bring it back in. I'm sure Trump wants his cut, but, you know, so that's a hurdle too.
Taxes.
Yeah, still, I'd love to go to Canada. I've got my passport. It's been criminally underused.
Well, there's a lot of criminally awesome reasons to go there now, I hear.
High times with True Starscreamer.
Don't tell my wife. Hi, honey.
Yeah, hi, honey.
He's going to be asking me about that joke later, I know.
Grimlock says, bake edibles into the shape of faction symbols.
Sorry about that. My daughter popped her head in and she had to tell me about a pony that she just saw on YouTube and she wants to buy it this weekend.
Good Lord.
We call this one Devastator, man.
Don't pass judgment. All right. Well, I mean, I know some folks want to get a figure action meetup going in Toronto. I think ultimately March is too soon for me to go to the con, especially with trying to buy a house, because that's in about the time frame where now that this one's fallen through, we're looking about making it happen.
I think Toronto is very doable. I mean, we were talking about it, doing a group.
Yeah.
Driving up there, it's get a minivan.
I am not driving to Canada.
Yeah, you drive to Maryland, and we go the rest of the way.
Yeah, you drive to Maryland, spend the night at one of our houses, and then make the next leg to Toronto. It's 7.5 hours.
I will fly. I will freaking sell a Devastator and fly.
Jesus.
I do not do long car trips.
You have to think about
Steve Brett in the chat says, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah. How are you going to get all the stuff home when you fly?
I have a military grade duffel bag. I just need 3 pairs of clean underwear, 2 t-shirts, deodorant, and I got the hotel shampoo and toothpaste.
Let's use Flip Out here as a diagram of how he's going to get it back without paying taxes. Flip Out. All right. So moving on to our first discussion, Toys R Us is coming back in grocery store form.
I didn't hear that yet.
Yeah, so we finally know what Jeffrey's Toy Box is, and it's all it is it's display stands in Kroger grocery stores. The reports are saying that they're still looking to actually get pop-up shops back and create an actual storefront under the Toys R Us brand. But yeah, a little bit disappointing. CBS News had an article that I was reading earlier, and I've seen some folks posting pictures of basically what it is. I'll do a screen share so we show all our lovely YouTube audience out there, what it's looking like. I think it's kind of neat that they're that they've got something going, but I think the concept is
flawed.
Yeah, a little bit flawed. And it's a small selection of toys just in this cardboard kind of end cap display. Not exactly what people were expecting. Yeah, if anybody subscribes to Michael Mercy, he's a YouTuber. He's Canadian, and it's kind of a shame that. And I do hope the stores return, because apparently the Toys R Us stores in Canada are undergoing an overhaul right now, and they're trying to recapture the 80s vibe in the stores and making them interactive and making them a destination where you go to view figures and well, not figures, you go to view toys and kids can play with the toys, and it's kind of an interactive experience. So I'm looking forward to seeing his channel update, and he's supposed to do a thing initially for his Patreon subscribers, a walkthrough there.
So I got an idea. They're going to steal this idea because I know they're watching.
Right.
Here's it is, groundbreaking. Get a fleet of semi-trailers.
Mm-hmm.
Joffrey's Toy Box, however you want to say
Joffrey. I just think of Game of Thrones when you say that, man.
And load the semi-trailer up with all the toys, and you post on social media, this is where we're going to be on this weekend. And it just moves around. Not one truck, but a fleet of them. Instead of having this like little pop-up end cap thing at a grocery store that I don't even know what Kroger's is.
Yeah, they're a chain of
grocery stores.
But
fine, I'll do it.
You're gonna like Thanos this whole thing. Do it myself.
Yeah, I'll just do it myself. How much could a tractor trailer possibly cost?
Nate, you're a business owner.
You'd be like one of those traveling shit, like when you go to the fairgrounds and they sell hot tubs.
Yeah.
Except you're just selling action figures.
So instead of a food truck, and food trucks are awesome, it's a toy truck.
They actually have. You wouldn't believe who has one of those. That business model is being used by one of the most evil toy companies around.
Really? It can't be, because I just thought.
Sanrio.
What is that?
There is a Hello Kitty truck.
Huh.
Hello Kitty truck. Okay. I'll let them have that.
I only know because it came into Raleigh a couple months ago.
How much did you spend?
No.
We are not a Sanrio household. Thank you very much.
Did you get that transforming Hello Kitty that turns into a little submarine?
I was working. I didn't get to go.
Got him.
Dude, but jokes aside, man, you'd be surprised. They make everything. I used to date this girl. She just would get the most outrageous Sanrio stuff. And yeah, I can't even talk about some of the things she bought. Yes, one of those.
Wow.
Yes, one of those too.
Wow.
Hello Kitty amazes me because I've been seeing Hello Kitty my whole life, and I've never seen a Hello Kitty cartoon ever.
There's not one.
It's the ultimate. Honestly, it's the ultimate branding.
So it's sort of like Betty Boop, except I've actually seen cartoons where.
I'm gonna confirm what Steve Brent said in the chat that Starscreamer totally bought that shit.
Well, to answer your question, Joe, for the whole tractor trailer, I mean, you're talking, that's cheap. It's dirt cheap. But the actual trailer will cost you more than the actual car or the truck itself.
Well, I also
talking
of a fatal flaw with this business plan. If someone sees me rolling up with a tractor trailer and I throw the ramp down in the back and invite their kids in to buy toys, they're probably not. Might call the cops.
Just get a sign and wear it on your chest that says "Not a sex offender." Be sure to smile and wave. And when you see kids, gesture like this.
Yeah, hey, come on, kids.
Do your typical Joe smile. What?
Offer free candy.
Yeah, any of you guys watch Family Guy? I know a lot of people don't like Family. There was one episode where it was like Peter had a flashback to being a kid, and there was a guy, like, he's like, it was like a flashback. It was like, this is almost as bad as the time I did it, but it was like a guy rolls up in a windowless light van and he's like, hey kid, you want some candy? And he's like, no, my mom said I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. And then another kid gets in, and the next day he's like reading the newspaper, and it's like local boy gets lifetime supply of candy. And then like he's walking outside, and another sketchy looking van rolls up. Hey kid, you want a puppy? And he's like, or no, he's like, hey kid, you want free candy? He's like, yeah. And he gets in the van, and it's like local boy who gets molested doesn't get candy.
I've seen that one. I've seen all of them.
And another topic today.
Actually, apparently, there is a Hello Kitty show. Winston in the chat says his daughter watches Hello Kitty on Netflix. So,
wow.
This topic got dark. This topic got dark.
All right, Lutwack, we'll move it along.
Well, did you see all the Nintendo characters get Thanos?
Yeah, I did. I was surprised by that. I don't know what surprised me more, the fact that Smash Brothers Ultimate has a story mode. Maybe, you know what, that would be a good B-side next week.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about that direct.
Oh, Nintendo.
Yeah,
you guys have fun.
Well, you can heckle us if you like, if you so choose.
No,
in the comments.
I will never disrespect somebody for liking something.
Mm-hmm. Because if you like it, you win.
No,
wow, that went silent.
No, it's just, dude, come on.
I know.
That's what all fandom is about. You know that.
I do know that. But yeah, I would like to do a B-side on the Nintendo Direct. I think we should do that. We'll gauge the community, see if people are interested. Because one, we've only done one B-side, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that we couldn't get folks to see Venom in time. So apparently I've got too much time on my hands.
And then
Hasbro,
when we get close to committing to a B-side, everyone realizes that we're old and tired.
Yeah. That too.
Or that apparently it's time to play Red Dead Redemption.
Yes. Or in my case, I've been looking at houses on Thursdays because it's like the best day around like my gym time, and when everybody's available, it's Thursday, and I'm like, I just got
Okay. More news.
All right, so moving things along, we have a really exciting studio series reveal. Right between the wrecking balls, if you would, and the London Comic-Con or Comic-Con London, they revealed that we are, and I'm trying to screen share this one. They revealed that a studio series Devastator is coming, and it's made up of 8 robots. They said 8 figures. No one knows if these yet are actually 8 transforming robots, or if they're the vehicle modes, kind of akin to the original Devastator from, right now I shouldn't say original because I don't want to trigger anybody. The Revenge of the Fallen Devastator. You know what's crazy is back in 2009 when Revenge of the Fallen came out, I despised this design. And now looking back, I don't think it's that bad. It's definitely its own thing.
I still say the Legends is one of the best engineered figures of its time.
Mm-hmm.
I never got that one. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So you guys
I didn't like the movie design. I didn't like the movie design so much, but what really made me not buy the toy was they were big, chunky, kiddie vehicles that that didn't transform into robots, and they became that Devastator that still wasn't all that posable,
Yeah.
even though they didn't turn into robots.
Well, that's it. But the Legends one were vehicles and robots and could combine.
I was too
Yeah, I
cheap
remember
to
when that
buy
box
that one.
set came out. I found 3 of them at the shop for clearance. I picked up all 3 of them, repainted them.
Yeah.
The green set?
I'm going to take the position of I still despise that Devastator.
Abomination.
It is an abomination. Maybe the balls are going to be the extra 2. They're going to be an individual.
Oh God.
I hated that because none of the vehicles were actually wrecking ball cranes. I'm
Yeah.
like, why?
Just
I mean, I know
totally
Bay
good.
doesn't like continuity, but for God's sake.
Yeah.
Actually, I'll semi-defend it because it kind of made sense. You got the construction vehicles, and the thing turned into a giant walking robot excavator. I could actually get behind. It was still ugly as sin, but I could still get behind its concept.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest question I always had about that Devastator was because while that thing was doing its thing, all the Constructicons, they were still, fighting in that battle. I mean, the movie was a mess as it was.
Yeah.
It was just like G1.
Yeah, I mean, did any of those vehicles actually have robot modes, or was the robot mode all of those vehicles combined?
No answers.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, if they make a decent Devastator and none of those things have individual robot modes, I'd be okay with it because, watching what it was,
Well,
Grimlock in the chat has a good point here real quick. He said, wait for Black Mamba or Wei Zhang to oversize KO and include the Wrecking Balls or DNA Design doing it.
How big would that be? Well, do we know how big the Studio Series will be?
It doesn't look that big.
Well, no, there's a picture here. We'll go back to it real quick.
So it probably from the start it's not going to scale well with the others line at all.
No, they revealed 4 Constructicons. Those don't.
Yeah.
We don't have confirmation that those combine.
We don't. And
Well,
if you look here, the pictures where you see Long Haul and I can't remember. Is that supposed to be Scrapper?
They had Long Haul, Rampage, and I can't think they had. I think they had Bone Crusher, maybe.
Yeah. No, Bone Crusher wasn't part of it. Yeah, this guy's holding it right here in this picture.
It's a good size.
Yeah. But if you look at this arm is like massive.
Yeah.
In there I can't, and if you look in real close, I don't see any bits on it that look like robot bits. So yeah, it's a prototype still, but I'm pretty confident this is going to be a gift set with just vehicles.
No,
I wonder if we'll get a Fallen then.
I think that if we do, they'll shoehorn in the jet mode.
I'm just saying, since we got Revenge of the Fallen Megatron, we got Jetfire combining with Prime. Now we got Devastator. So
yeah,
I still have the Target Fallen for some reason.
Yeah, and they still need
the head
to do
doesn't fall off as easy as the Target one.
I'll put it for one day, and I don't know what falls off anymore.
Give me your face.
Why did I buy this?
Because he had give me your face action.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, well, I just want them to do a movie one Megatron, like something that looks proper. We've never got a proper Megatron there. He's always had been a Kibbly mess. Yeah. I don't know. I like the Studio Series a bit. I know some people are done with the movie lines, but I think they're doing a good job with them. I think that they're really evoking the Black Series and the MCU Marvel Legends. It's kind of like their version of that. They've had some home runs. I think the little Bumblebee and Jazz, Revenge of the Fallen Megatron have been home runs. So I just hope they continue to get better.
Blackout and Starscream.
Blackout and Starscream are great examples too.
That Jetfire looks good too, coming out.
Mm-hmm. So does the Leader Megatron, and soft goods on a Transformer. That's new.
Yeah, so I actually
Hasbro.
literally just said that. Like, that's the one I want, because there's very few of those Bay designs that I actually liked, and that was one of them. And I was like, I want that with soft goods. And then I think you text it to the group chat. Like, it had to have been like within 60 seconds of me saying it. Boom, there it was.
Yeah.
I know who probably can't wait for that. Mgo.
Oh
He's
yeah.
been in like a billion of his skits.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll replace him if they do a
He
new
may have to do,
Shockwave.
Oh yeah, and Shockwave.
let's see, he may have to do like a retirement video. Sorry guys, but yeah, you need to go now. We got these guys. Hey!
Megatron.
There's my Mgo impression for you guys.
It was really good.
Palm in your face.
Did you say "come in your face"?
Yeah. I thought he said that to you for a second.
Jesus, what's on you kids' minds?
If you only knew.
We'll never get monetized.
Yeah, no, we're just that Podbean fee's never getting paid. That's I did it to myself. Speaking
Can we get a like
paid,
for that, please? Can we get people in the chat? Can I get a like for that one?
Yeah.
Right now, right this minute, if you haven't liked.
Hey, run a train into that. Let's use Wild Rider as an example of what you should do to that like button. Where's he at, T? Like, yeah, exactly. Do that to the like.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a true masterpiece theater for your Friday night, boys and girls.
Oh boy. So moving on, Siege. For those that don't want anything at the movies, the Siege line is apparently out. They've been spotted in the U.S., I believe in California, and some retailers have received their shipments. I believe Kapow Toys, Robot Kingdom, and the Chosen Prime. The Chosen Prime actually has the Prime and Megatron in stock right now. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to Brandon. Want to special shout out to his family. I know that nobody was injured, but they were in an accident coming back from TFCon. Definitely a rough time. I'm glad to hear that they're all okay. So check out his store. Good customer service there. But yeah, they've got those in stock, and it's exciting to see the Siege stuff dropping. I know there's still one Power of the Primes figure that didn't get mass release yet, and that's the Optimal Optimus. So
yeah,
curious to
I
see.
forgot all about him.
Well, I got Prom King Primal. I kind of forgot about him too. I'm actually not all that pressed if I don't get the Power of the Prime's Optimal Optimus. I'd like to have him, but I've got the Perfect Effect version. I'm like,
No, Prom King Primal pulled a stealth Azalea. He came out first before the regular one.
Yeah, he really did.
I'm in North Carolina. I'll probably never see any of it.
It'll be months for me.
I'll probably see it on Ollie, so yeah, I can wait.
That's true. They do have the new Ollies about to open near me, so curious to see if I can finally get Misfire. I'm like,
keep a lookout.
I gotta take a look at my Ollies.
I want to sell off my Chug stuff, and I want to complete Power. I want to complete Titan's Return.
I know Nate has a shopping list for us, probably.
Yeah.
I do. I have a huge shopping list.
You don't have an Ollie's, right?
Now, our closest Ollie's is in Arkansas. So, I am not making that trip.
Say hi to Robo for me if you do.
I will.
You drive all the way out there and they don't have anything.
I get there, they got Triptychon. I'm like,
yeah.
Triptychon.
Yeah. Scourge, probably Chrome Dome. I bet you'd probably see
Getaway.
Inferno.
Tons of getaways.
No, I haven't seen Getaway or Scourge.
Next time I'm in Walgreens, I'm going to take a picture for you. So we got one more piece of Transformers news before we move into the other stuff. Fans Hobby revealed the price of the Double Evil, which is their Masterpiece Guild Overlord, and it's kind of shocking, but in a good way. So Double Evil is actually much taller than their Power Baser. Their Power Baser retailed for $200, and they announced that Double Evil was only going to be $190.
Yep.
I thought you were going to say like 140 or something.
No, well, Joe, did you see this figure at TFCon this year?
190 is actually probably pretty good. He's big.
I think it's probably because you think it's less engineering?
Probably.
Because it's only one robot. Well, no.
Well, he's got a base mode, and it's the tank and the jet.
Yeah.
How would you say this is compared to Carnifex?
Bigger.
Right, but bigger doesn't always mean better.
No, but it's a G1 styled figure, so he probably has less engineering than even Carnifex, but he does have working treads. He has the 2 Breastmasters. I mean, he's got opening cockpits. What did I call cockpit earlier? Cockpit?
Said you had to be at Breastmasters and cockpits. There's your quote. There's your soundbite, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what we should have named this episode: boobs and cockbeats. But then if we did, Nate wouldn't share it. He'd be like, I don't know, I didn't have anything to do with this.
I gave up on my political career.
I don't really care.
Nowadays you can do anything.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you say nowadays.
Yeah.
Anyway,
still does. But I saw the prototype at TFCon last year. They apparently tweaked it, and the thing that struck me about it was the hands on the thing. He's got like damn gorilla paws, and they're all articulated. I mean, the hands on that figure are as big as, no exaggeration, they're as big as the Mega Action Series figures I have, the non-transforming Megatron and Optimus. I mean, it's big. He's as big as the Power Baser combined with the God Bomber, and actually Grimlock put that in the chat too. So I mean, I've got Power Baser here. I've got the black repaint, and this is a big figure. Yeah, this is a big figure, and easily the Double Evil is this much bigger than him.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this. Awesome, I like the fact that third party is actually. Strangely, it's cheaper than official these days, and I know we've talked about that quite a bit before.
Because 190 was the price of Ultra Magnus, right?
No, when I got Ultra Magnus, he was 120.
Oh,
but
cool.
I think he's jacked up in price these days.
Well, what's the price of that reissue of Revenge of the Fallen Prime?
The leader class one?
Yeah, the leader class.
Yeah, I recall they jacked up that price too.
That's in triple digits, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And that back in the day was a $45 figure.
Man, I should sell mine off.
I just still got mine sealed box right there with Jetfire.
Does the battery still work?
I don't know. It's been sealed.
Oh, it's that sealed because he had a try me feature.
I should check, but
yeah. And he'll just go, my name is Optimus Prime all live long day.
I know, especially when you try to transform it.
Yeah,
I hated that. Well, then they put it into the movie as a real feature in the movie.
Oh God!
My name is Optimus Prime, because you didn't know.
So
that's gonna be that's how I'm gonna get to Toronto's with those guys.
Oh.
You guys can drive here.
Oh Lord.
How far of a drive is it, North Carolina to Maryland? Northern.
It's about 4.5. It's about 4.5, 5 hours to get to Rockville, Maryland. So throw another hour and a half to Baltimore. Unless it's 4:00 in the afternoon, then it's going to be a 7-hour drive.
Yeah, it's nothing. You can do it.
Yeah, come up in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
That's right. We got a meetup.
For one evening.
You guys know I work retail.
We know, and we don't care. We're playing devil's advocate.
Anyway.
So, all right. Well, that does it for Transformers news. Let's get through the rest of this. We got from the Paris Comic-Con, if you want to talk about spreading Comic-Cons out, we've got some new Marvel Legends reveals. And True Starship, I know you're excited about these.
They're interesting. I can't. I guess I don't want to say excited, but I'm very pleased for them. So. I mean, you've got Grey Gargoyle. You've got the comic book version of Loki, and Genus Vale. Grey Gargoyle. If you watch the old '90s Marvel cartoons, with Iron Man and Hulk, Grey Gargoyle was a villain in that. He's pretty cool because it's interesting because the arms actually look like the old Black Panther arms.
Yeah, they do.
With the blue with the black stripes.
And the tip claws. Yeah.
Yeah. The Grey Gargoyle, he was a guy who, when he touched people, they would turn to stone. So he's a Hulk villain. Comic book style Loki, I mean, it's using a Bucky Cap mold, yay, but it's still Loki. So photographers all over, you'll be able to do all kinds of neat stuff, doing old school Avengers shots and things like that. And then Genus Vale, that's he's a Captain Marvel. He's a Kree soldier, so he'll be good not only just for cosmic characters, but for army building as well, for just Kree soldiers. So that's going to be pretty neat.
Skip, and skip. Thank you, Hasbro, for saving me money.
And these are all part of the...
Thank you for derailing all my enthusiasm.
Yeah, you know what? What is the Build-A-Figure for the Captain Marvel wave? That's the
we don't know yet. Oh, for the Captain Marvel wave,
that's Nick Fury.
No. It's a Kree Sentry, which is a goofy robot design, but it was a goofy robot design in the comics. It's kind of like, and that's probably the big thing. We've got a lot of these weird characters, but they're comic book accurate, and they were goofy when they were designed. So it's kind of like,
I wish they did a skinny... I was gonna say, I wish they did a skinnier body for that Loki.
Well, I'm sure customizers could easily take that head, John Walker Customs, if you're listening, and put it on something like the Electro body, a Pizza Spidey body, or even a Iron Fist body, and that would work perfect.
Yeah, Iron Fist would have been a way better body. I was thinking Pizza Spidey, but yeah, that Iron Fist mold.
I think Iron Fist is Pizza Spidey.
Depends on which Iron Fist body you use.
Yeah.
I think it would be kind of cool using the ones with the removable forearms, so that way you could put like the glowing magic effects for him. But I personally have been wanting that just so I can do some neat stuff with Deadpool, because back when Christopher Priest was writing Deadpool, he made it like that Loki was his father. I kid you not, because Christopher Priest is an awesome comic book writer. He also cursed Deadpool to look like Tom Cruise for a couple issues.
Jesus.
That's Christopher Priest writing for you. Chris, if you're watching this show, we'll have you on.
That would be an interesting guest. We need to get somebody in the comics on here. We'll try and make that happen. I've got a couple connections. Moving on to more Hasbro news. We got some interesting reveals from BlizzCon. Any Overwatch fans out there will find this interesting. And this was entirely unexpected, I think. They're doing Overwatch Nerf guns. There's actually this is what is this? It's the Road to Survival series that shoots like the actual high velocity balls. Yeah, high velocity balls. They're doing McCree's Blaster, which actually comes with a badge too, which I thought was kind of interesting.
That's awesome.
And then of course you've got replica guns of Tracer, Trohorn, Diva, and Reaper. On top of all that, they're doing Overwatch figures, which this is exciting because I think a lot of people have had their eye on the Figma versions, but just didn't want to spend the asking price for Overwatch figures. And, at first you kind of think like, well, Hasbro doing that's kind of weird. But the thing about Overwatch is the different costumes. And,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is going to be a big cash cow for Hasbro because
I will buy every Reaper.
yeah, all the different costumes, all the different colors, a company that loves the repaints and reuses of molds. I mean, honestly, I can tell you right now, if they come out with a Bastion that transforms, I'm going to get that. If they come out with Diva and NECA, I am going to get that.
Dude, those would be the Build-A-Figures. I kid you not. I could totally see that.
Yeah, they very well could be. So I mean, this is exciting news. And looking at Mercy here, I mean, if they come out of the gate with this sort of paint, the shading on here, the sculpt work, yeah, sign
I'll pay
me
30
up.
For that. I'll pay 30 for that.
Some
Don't
people
tell
saying,
them that. Let's start them at 20.
Yeah, let's start them at 20. Don't get too ahead. But I mean, it looks like she actually has, if I'm not mistaken, it almost looks like she has double jointed elbows. So
I think it looks like Marvel Legends from what I can see.
I was it's closer to Star Wars Black.
Yeah. I was looking at right above her.
What I do like is they gave her the 12-inch Legends articulation in the body, where she has the actual ab articulation and the diaphragm joint on top of that.
Yeah.
I've been wanting that for Marvel Legends forever. Beast is the only other figure that I see that they are going to do that for with official Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
And Hasbro, if you're watching, feel free to send me a review sample. I will be pure and impartial, I swear.
So I'm excited for those. Up next, NECA is knocking it out of the park lately, and I know T, one of your favorite figures from this year was well, not only that, but a certain character.
Oh, the Bandicoot.
Yes. Well, to go along with that, and just in time for the Spyro Reignited trilogy, NECA, yeah.
Yep.
NECA's doing a Spyro the Dragon.
I'm actually going to get that for my wife. She loves Spyro.
I mean, look at this face sculpt here.
I've never really played his games, but I might still wind up getting it.
Well, man, you should get the trilogy. I know it's not coming to Switch yet, but they were really, really awesome action platformers. I didn't
don't think it's going to go to Switch.
It probably will. I mean, if you follow like any of the gaming news, like as far as sales charts are concerned, the Crash Reignited trilogy that's been like the #1 selling game in the UK or at least it was on a streak of being the #1 selling game in the UK, and it was specifically the Switch version.
Okay, never mind.
So it made bank on the Switch. They'd be foolish not to port Spyro, but I'm sure they'll probably have to make some concessions with the engine and getting it to, scale down for the Switch. But yeah, this looks really, really cool. I wish he kind of came with some flame effects, but knowing NECA, they'll probably do a deluxe version. Actually, I can't remember if I sent it to you, T, but they had the deluxe Crash Bandicoot with the jetpack when I was in that Arbutus GameStop this week.
I think I've seen pictures of that.
Yeah.
NECA will milk a mold as far as they can.
Oh, yeah.
Throw extra effects in, change that one little detail.
Yeah, like the Kratos I got to buy all over again that comes with Atreus.
Boy.
Yeah.
I would have waited. I wouldn't have got that Kratos.
It's got a better face sculpt, too.
Yeah, I think it comes with 2.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at all the Jasons, you look at all the Predators, you look at all the Freddys, and all the Freddys, and all the Freddys.
Don't they have multiple Chuckies?
Yeah, I think that's why. I think that's
Go
why
ahead.
I only bought I only bought one of the Jasons and one of the Freddys for that reason. But they need to get that damn Michael Myers out that I pre-ordered months ago.
Speaking of which, Nate, I'm curious if you're in on this, but not only are they coming out with the Michael Myers, you now got Laurie Strode coming.
Yeah,
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, there's the Michael Myers. God damn, this looks good.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
I was looking at that earlier.
Yeah,
is that old Laurie?
That's old Laurie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well, current day Laurie. I don't want to call her.
Yeah.
You take that. You know, they've got the age Schwarzenegger figures too. So you could have that. You can have like True Lies present day.
Oh God. But I think this is cool. They revealed this on Halloween. And I mean, what an appropriate day to reveal it. I think, no pun intended, NECA's really killing it with these horror figures. And I want to know, what do you guys think about them doing some of the protagonists? You know,
people would love that, I think.
Yeah.
Especially people that do displays in ACBA.
Yeah.
The big thing is, these are great to have because these also work very well with Marvel Selects. So if somebody's a Marvel Select collector and they want to do photography with the Select, you mentioned with the protagonist, that's a great way of fleshing out not only civilians for ACBA, but actually bringing characters, potentially uncostumed versions and such. I mean, they look great together. If you haven't tried pairing up a NECA with the Marvel Select, you could have Carnage versus Being a Dream and Freddy, and they look really good together.
You have any shots of that on your Instagram?
Myself, no, because I don't have too many selects yet. I've seen some people, just talked it over with people.
Yeah.
And my NECA collection I actually downsized it for a little bit, and I'm really resisting building it back up.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I was in GameStop, that Arbutus GameStop, again, mentioning like you don't know what you're going to find in there. I actually did see they had the Anti-Venom Marvel Select in there, and I thought that was kind of odd. I don't really recall ever seeing Marvel Selects in a GameStop.
Yeah, I see him in there too.
Another thing that I wanted to talk about tonight. That was the last bit of news, but the Disney Store. They had some Black Series exclusives. And, it's interesting because in the Disney Store, for the longest time that I was aware, they had those die-cast Star Wars figures. And now they've got 3 Hasbro exclusives. They've got the battle-damaged Captain Phasma Zuckuss, who has soft goods, and a battle-damaged Stormtrooper.
Phasma's got soft goods, too.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. She doesn't have a removable. Well, I guess you could pop her hand off the ball joint, but.
The only thing sucks about that is I think Black Series, if they're like Marvel Legends, they might be $5 more in Disney Store.
I doubt it.
They are.
They are? Oh, wow.
Yep. Robo was just talking about that on Foosh today.
Yeah.
No, what's weird is the Disney toys that they sell in there, they're dirt cheap. But the Hasbro stuff is overpriced.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting here. The Stormtrooper looks like he's a larger set. And then I'm curious if he costs more coming with those blast effects versus Zuckuss. It just looks like a normal Black Series release.
I know that Trooper costs more than if it's a bigger box.
Phasma's a normal release there. I think this is interesting. And, does this open the door for some Disney exclusive Marvel Legends? Are we going to start seeing those? Are we going to start seeing more Black Series showing up in the Disney Store?
I got a theory on that one.
Go ahead.
Those were going to be the Toys R Us exclusives for this December.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well, Disney was like, give us that.
You know how they can get a lot of people in the Disney Store with an exclusive? That
By saying it's a limited edition?
Well, the Stan Lee Build-A-Figure, which
every
time I go into, even though Everett Ross and, the Michael B. Jordan head sculpt are good selling points for that Black Panther 2-pack. And, the only way you could get Falcon and the Infinity War Falcon and Bucky was in that 2-pack. Had they had the Stan Lee Build-A-Figure, you would not see a single set on the shelves. Well, save for the ones where assholes steal the Build-A-Figure pieces.
Yeah.
If they released the Stan Lee as a Disney Store exclusive, Jesus Christ.
I didn't buy Legends. I'd buy that one.
Yeah. I'm stupidly picky with my Legends, and I would buy that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I was shocked when you said you wanted this.
I read those books, and that's the thing. I have an attachment to Scarlet Spider. I love the costume. I played the PS4 game. I had the Scarlet Spider costume one for quite a bit. It was that Iron Spidey.
I like
he wasn't
the
actually
second
talking about
costume.
using the costume skin. He was actually in cosplay while he played the game as Scarlet Spider.
That's one costume I actually want to do. Like if I ever trim up, I'd like to do that one. I think it would be a pretty easy one to do, especially since a lot of it's just hoodies. But
well, talking about exclusives, everybody's forgetting comic shops now. So Previews, which is owned by Diamond, they're actually releasing a lot of the exclusives that TRU was supposed to release now at comic shops. So don't forget that. So like, the MP 17 Plus, that was supposed to originally go to TRU, you could actually buy it on Entertainment Earth and whatnot. Well, your comic shop can get it for you too. So don't forget that if you're a normal subscriber, you can get a percentage off on the purchase of that. So like I looked at buying it and it was going to cost me $45 because of my discount. So I was like, I don't need another one,
Prowl?
Yes.
Oh, I might have, if you don't mind, I might have to reach out to you about that one.
Hey,
I don't want to pay 80 for them.
I get a deep discount for what I do, but I also buy and sell comics too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the catch is.
So he's putting into it.
Yeah, I think average, I spend $400 a month on comics.
Sheesh.
That's almost a single Hot Toy.
Yeah, I don't care about Hot Toys as much.
I'm just making fun of the Hot Toy collectors.
I've got one. I've got the Optimus. That's the only one I got. And I was like, this sucks. There's no Megatron to go with it. But yeah, like I said, the LCS is a good option for people to get exclusives, if you can't get them, because they're getting everything from NECA to SH Big Wards to you name it. So, and if your LCS gives you an option for a subscriber percentage off, it's a little bit of money you could be saving 10, 20, 30% off on a figure.
That's
good. Plus, it's always cool to go to a local comic shop. You meet cool people. And that's not me being sarcastic.
There aren't that many around.
Yeah. And actually, T, that's another point too. When I get you the Third Eye, I'll have to do a video there because they are good folks. And
there's a store. I forget. I almost don't want to bring it up because I forgot their name.
Collector's Corner.
But there's one. Yeah, Collector's Corner. Yeah. There's one in downtown Baltimore, but they barely have any toys. I was excited. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, Collector's Corner. Let me go in there. And it was just basically a comic book store. I'm like, where are the toys at?
But you're called Collector's Corner.
But if you got to go to the store further out, I hear they have all the toys and people bringing in their whole collections and selling it to them used. And you can get good deals there. But I was hoping to see that. Now, I did get my Marvel Select Spider-Man out of there when that first came out. But they have like DC icons, but not. I wonder if they're gonna have that Prowl when it comes out. That would be awesome.
You have to hit them up, see what they do for my Chug.
Third Eye might have it because it's a bigger store, but most LCSs won't have it in stock. They'll do special ordering for it through Previews.
Yeah.
Previews was my when I was an avid comic book collector. Previews was my best friend and worst enemy.
Oh yes.
Yeah, can I pre-order this? Can I put an order on this? Can I put an order on this? Excellent. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh God, it's here. I have to pay you now.
Yeah. I had 3 omnibuses show up at the same time.
Oh.
And yeah, they're barbels, so you know how much those ones cost.
That's why I started a Google Keep list of all the pre-orders that I placed, because I would accidentally pre-order things 2-3 times. If you don't keep track of it, you get out of hand.
I pre-ordered a couple of Mezco that I'm forgetting about, and they haven't been released yet either.
Mezco can't release things on time. They're
I
like,
think, and when they do, it seems like they release 3 at once.
I don't know what it is with them.
I'm still waiting on them to get the Evil Ash out.
Oh, quick tangent on some news. Anyone big following Mayfex stuff lately?
I have not been. What do they got coming out?
Start Googling the Mayfex Black Panther.
Oh, yeah. I've seen people sharing
I've
that out.
seen that.
That looks like it's blowing the fig arts out of the water.
Yeah, that's on my Instagram.
I have said this before on the record, figure arts, as awesome as they are, I feel that they have gone a little complacent. But Mayfex is, yes, while they're stepping up their price slightly, okay, not slightly, while they're stepping up their price, they are stepping up their game on quality, detail, and frankly, selection.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I did get one more thing this week, and I didn't talk about it because it's really bad. I got the Figuarts Ant-Man with the ant.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like I got that courtesy of Toyco, and I got that this week, and it is single-handedly the worst Figuarts release I've ever bought. And the ant accessory was terrible. The Ant-Man himself, like the knee pads fall off if you look at him wrong.
I've got someone here that will disagree with you.
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I remember you talking about that and just how bad it was.
Which Superman's that?
That's the Man of Steel, the Henry Cavill Superman from Figuarts.
God damn, that's a big
It's
name.
so bad. It's so bad.
I'm just saying, and again, they have gone completely complacent.
Yeah, missing details.
They can't do the realistic, when they're trying to do the face of an actual person at all. The Figuarts, they haven't been able to do it. Especially being able to put some emotion. They can do this, and it's like they're dead inside. Like
Bruce Lee looks good.
Their Wonder Woman, they didn't do a very good job on that, but Mayfex can do it, and some they get some other ones that now Figuarts can do like a anime or cartoon character. They can.
Figma still has the anime look. Now the one thing is Mayfex. I'm still not saying they're perfect. Not by far. They do not have a standardized scale. Their Suicide Squad figures versus their Dark Knight stuff are 2 totally different scales. They still have made some of the worst figures on Earth, and I'm talking about C-3PO, which you look at it wrong, and it's now Empire Strikes Back accurate of falling apart. And but I can say they are stepping up their game. I do know I want to get that Spider-Man and Venom, and yes, that Black Panther is sorely tempting me, and I freaking want John Wick.
Yeah, I want their RoboCop as well.
Oh yeah, which one? They got all 3 now.
That's the thing. Well, I don't want RoboCop 3, but I'm torn between RoboCop 1 and 2, because the RoboCop 1 he is movie accurate, but the RoboCop 2 I like the coloring. Like he's got that blue. It's not like a pearlescent, but it's got that sheen.
But we're only human.
Yeah. Oh God. I like RoboCop 2 for what it is. I will never like cave into that. I enjoyed it when I was too young to see it. I enjoyed it as an adult. I know it's totally different. I know it's Frank Miller. Mm-hmm. And that was his directorial debut. And but there's hints. There's there's certain things I love about the movie. I love the RoboCop prototypes when they're coming out with RoboCop 2, and they just go insane. I like the concept, how ludicrous it is. I love the satire in it. I think the satire is still in keeping with what was in the Verhoeven film. So
very cool.
But yeah, and I do want that John Wick.
I think that's the only other hot toy I've got on order.
Oh, nice. I forgot they're coming out with one of those. Hey, Alexa, if you're watching this, those are things I'm not buying for Christmas, since I'm apparently very difficult to shop for.
Should be able to save because it probably won't come out till 3 years from now.
Well, just message Tman and be like, what's Jordan not buying?
Hey, Alexa, please add John Wick to pre-order list.
That's not how it works. She's a real girl.
I've been dying to make that joke for months.
All right. Well, on that note, I say we wrap up the evening. So we're at the 2-hour mark. Yeah, appreciate everybody that's stuck around in the chat, and we appreciate you as always. So let's run down the panel, find out where everybody can be found. Starting out, Mr. True Star Screamer, where can folks find you?
Of course, you can always find me here almost every Friday night, usually around 9 o'clock, occasionally 9:15. You can also find me on the PlayStation Network at True Star Screamer. I got some great customs on Soul Calibur 6, people. I need to show them off to somebody.
I need to red box that so we can do a stream.
Exactly. You can find me trolling on Facebook, of course, at David Lutwack, looking for the worst dad jokes possible. And, of course, on Instagram at True Star Screamer as well.
Right on. Right on. Joe, how about you, buddy? Where can people find you at?
You can find me on Facebook in the groups Joe Crab, and I am on Instagram, Joe Figure 83. I've been spending more time on the Figure Action Instagram lately, though, so that's where you'll find most of my pics. And you will soon find me on Xbox again under Crab2131. But I just realized that my Xbox Live subscription has been expired. But now that I have Red Dead and I'm getting back into gaming a little bit more, I'll renew that and I'll be on Xbox.
Before you do, let me search Slick Deals because they might have a $36 deal going on.
Sweet.
So, all right. Everybody knows where to find Tman978. But just in case you didn't,
Google Tman978 without any spaces. Here's a size comparison I never get to do on my channel. And shout out to Nate's wife for letting you sit here with us for 2 hours.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, I haven't seen anybody jump in. What the hell are you doing?
Especially with 4 kids. So
Yeah.
They're all sleeping.
Oh.
Good. You're lucky.
If
we have schedules.
If it was T's kids, he'd just be like, stay asleep.
I tried that. It didn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work too easily.
Nate, for our audience, where can they find you at?
I am Nathan Simmons on YouTube. So if you Google me, I am this version, not the pastor version. That's usually the first one that shows up.
I hate that.
I'm also Nathan_S82 on IG, as well as Super Rodimus on Twitter.
Very cool. Very cool. And of course, you can be found in the Syndicate Toy Hunters group as well. And
everywhere else.
Yeah. And you're in our chat a lot of times too. So
I know, right?
This time you're.
I do want to say a big thank you though to Joe and Matt for picking me up that G2 crack up though. Did want to say thank you guys.
No,
Haven't got it yet, but it'll be here soon.
Oh, we gotta check that tracking. You are already.
So yeah, it said Monday, so it should be here.
It's coming.
But I just want to say thank you guys for it.
Anytime.
Right on, right on. As for me, you can find me here every Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Pacific. I always wanted to say that. You can find me on Instagram as Extra Space Zero. You can find me on Twitter as the @original Zero. You can find me on the PlayStation Network and Xbox Live when I have time, because I want to play some Red Dead. I'm only an hour in. As Extra Zero, there's a space on the Xbox. It's all one word on PlayStation Network. And of course, you can find me in the Facebook groups as James Jordan. I want to thank everybody for watching us tonight. Again, if you like our show, hit that like button, leave us a comment, let us know anything you want to see, anything you want us to talk about. Hit us up on the Figure Action page, hit us up in the comments. And if you're interested in being a guest on the show, hit us up. We're going to be coming at you with some more Industry Insider episodes soon. We're trying to get those lined up, trying to get some more people in the community. And, you know, if any of our listeners out there would like to be on the show, hit us up and we can get something scheduled. Anyway, thanks again for listening. Thanks for watching. If you're watching us on YouTube, we'll be here next week, same time, same place. And we look forward to seeing you. Peace out. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye, bro.